me that I had a 99-mile range. The other thing is that Jaguar delivered this car sort of set up for the track, which means the front splitter has been extended and the rear wing is sort of angled. But that extended front splitter is making this car so low that going over speed bumps is nearly impossible. And in the UK, there are so many speed bumps and everyone keeps getting so angry with me. I really can't keep up with the weather today. 1 minute it's pouring with rain and now it's bright sunshine. But anyway, that Project 8, unbelievable. I'm literally already in love with it. I need to calm myself down because it's been only a few hours that I've spent behind the wheel of that thing and it's just amazing. Anyway, here we are, Caffeine and Machine. I've wanted to come here really since it opened at the end of last year, but I didn't have a chance because I was packing my life into boxes ahead of Drive the World. And the last 6 months on the road, I've just seen the sort of awareness, appreciation and activity of and around this place grow and grow. So I'm so glad to finally be here. First off, I'm going to have a meeting with Blake from First Point Insurance to catch up about things and plan some cool content for the rest of the year. And then I want to have a look around this place because it's sort of like a classic English country pub that's been turned into automotive mecca, an automotive mecca. There's just like bits of car stuff everywhere. The car park is full of amazing things. That's a big old Camaro starting up. It's just, we don't have anywhere like this in the UK. This is the first of its kind. Somewhere that people who are just into cars and appreciate cars can just hang out, eat good food, have good coffee, and yeah, win, win, win. So yes, meeting and then let's jump inside.
A sparkle in your eyes. I feel the warmth of your skin. Just the touch of your hand makes me tremble within. Love the smell of your hair lying here in my bed.
We were trying to remember, we met about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
On a street corner in Dubai.
Mildly salubrious.
Yeah, a little bit. You were in a very expensive car. I was holding a camera, sort of slightly salivating over the car. But anyway, here we are now.
Yeah.
Outside your incredible creation, Caffeine and Machine.
Yeah, I mean, it was starting then. I mean, it was up and alive.
Really?
Yeah, so we had it was nothing but an event. And we were dotting it around Dubai. So Cafe Rider, where you probably would have bumped into, we started our first event there.
Wow. For anyone who's been asleep and hasn't seen the hype on social media, because I'm going to say there is hype, how would you, like in a short, brief summary, like what's your elevator pitch for this place?
Automotive Narnia.
Automotive Narnia. So we're stepping through a cupboard.
Yeah.
It's a little bit secretive.
Back door of the garage.
Back door of the garage. All welcome?
Everyone's welcome, completely inclusive. There's a sign around the back which you've probably seen, which is a fat wallet doesn't make you special. It's the passion set that makes you special. Okay. It doesn't matter what you drive, it's a vector, whether you drive or ride, or fly, or bring a shed in.
Sure.
We've had all manner of vehicles, all manner of people. You get a guy that will turn up in, I don't know, a 488 Pista, and he'll start having a chat with a young lad that's turned up in a Civic to try and understand how that Civic drives.
Yeah.
How have you done that?
What is happening?
I don't understand. And we have like an anti-sneering rule.
Okay, good.
So you don't sneer. You don't, just like you wouldn't character assassinate someone on first meeting.
No, that's the same.
But in the car industry, people do.
Unfortunately, there's a case of looking down or looking up and misunderstanding and
If you want to put green wheels on your pink car, put green wheels on your pink car, right?
No,
it's
I shouldn't laugh.
Good. Yeah, it is. It's funny. It's laughable, but at the same time, it's someone's choice.
That's exactly it. Thank you so much for having me down.
No,
it's been amazing. The coffee was like spot on. So that's how I judge anywhere. It's my coffee.
Scratch it properly. So we're still very much delivering what we think is a broad coffee offering. Okay. But we can start to get quite insular with it.
Well, you had oat milk, which is right up my street. So. Awesome, dude. Great to see you.
No, pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, dude.
See you guys. Cheers. Well, caffeine machine, as awesome as I hoped it was going to be. That place is just, yeah, I want to spend every day and every weekend there. I mean, Saturday mornings look absolutely mental, so I'm sure I will be returning at some point, hopefully during this sort of short UK leg. But either way, good and great to catch up with the First Point Insurance guys. We're planning some cool stuff for the rest of Drive the World, so stay tuned on that. Right now, I'm running a little bit late for my meeting with Pirelli, which is about an hour and a half further north. So despite the fact that the sun has come out and I really want to talk to you about this car, because I realise all I've done is just be like, oh, it's amazing, I love it, and I need to give you some sort of details and explain my history with this thing, but for now I'm just going to focus on the job in hand, get to Pirelli, chat with them, and then hopefully it's going to stay dry and we can do some more filming and some more chat about this car afterwards. So yes, onwards, Pirelli! Thank you so much, mate. Absolutely great to see you.
Pleasure to see you again.
Awesome to catch up.
see you.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you so much.
you take care.
We'll chat. But
Very soon, yeah. We'll send you through.
spot on. Yeah.
Cheers, man. Good to see you
Thank you
again.
so much for sure.
Safe travels.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Speak soon. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Cheers.
Take care.
Thank you. Well, that was a very good meeting down here at the Pirelli Performance Centre. You may remember this is where I came to get the tyres fitted for my 360. But let's talk about the XE Project 8 finally, because I realise I've been doing a lot of meetings today and not really talking to you about this car. For those of you that don't know anything about it, whilst it is based on an XE, it really is a completely different car. It comes from the Special Vehicle Operations SVO side of Jaguar, and it was preceded by the Project 7, the sort of crazy F-Type, the, well, nearly permanent roofless F-Type. This is a very bespoke car. Only the actual front door and roof remains from a standard XE. Every other body panel you see is unique and bespoke to this car. Entirely new suspension, which is 4.5 times harder or stiffer than a standard XE's suspension. We have the 5-litre supercharged V8, which we've seen in F-Type SVR, F-Pace SVR. In this variant, it's putting out 600 horsepower, and I just love some of the details. It's a little bit dirty now today, but look, back here, firstly, we have this cutaway in the rear bumper, but then we also have no step written on the carbon fibre. As you can see, set up for track at the moment, because this rear wing in its sort of more angular or higher setting, you can, I believe, with a relatively simple Allen key, switch it to the slightly lower drag setting. Making our way around the front, one of the things I love is this carbon fibre vent in the front bonnet. It's just absolutely nuts. And then look at this splitter, absolutely ridiculous. So the standard carbon fibre, they can go there. This is the additional track splitter, which moves forward and back. Again, it's got an Allen key sort of operated screw underneath, and you can slide it back and front. At the moment, it's in its sort of extended position. The whole reason that this car is so unique and special is that the Jaguar engineers, if I can ever open this, there we go, spent a whole lot of time trying to fit everything into this tiny engine bay. Carbon fibre bonnet as well. Oh, there we go. Slam it down. And the reason that all these cars are left-hand drive is because it's the only way they could fit everything in, including the gearbox. So if we jump inside now, you'll notice that all 300 of the XE Project 8s are left-hand drive. Anyway, I think enough of talking here outside the wonderful Pirelli Centre. Let's hit the road. Now, this Project 8 is what you might call a mid-level spec, because they also offer something called the Track Pack, which is about 10 grand over the 150 grand list price of this car. It adds a rather impractical roll cage to those rear seats, so you lose the use of the rear seats completely. You also get some sort of carbon fibre bucket seats and I think a few other bits and bobs. Jaguar have also released a touring spec of the Project 8, which, like the 911 GT3, loses the rear wing and I think the front splitter, and is supposed to be a more road-friendly car. But one thing that the Project 8 is not is road-friendly, because this thing is fundamentally a road-going race car. In fact, I think the only car which I think comes close to the on-road experience that you get in a Project 8 is a 911 GT3 RS. This car feels that planted, that honed in to the tarmac. It's actually quite intimidating. But let's not forget that the Project 8 still holds the Nürburgring lap record for a production saloon car. So this thing is absolutely made for one purpose, and that is destroying lap times. It's not exactly supposed to be used for the daily commute. Could you use it for the daily commute? Yes, but be prepared for a little bit of back pain, and maybe I mean a lot, because the suspension is hard. I mean, it's not unbearable, but it's not very compliant, and the UK roads can be pretty bumpy at times, so you need to be prepared to hold on for dear life. But that all-wheel drive system is so good. It just puts down all this power, and this car has so much power. You can hear that supercharger whining when you get up and go. And what I love about these Jaguars, any ones that have the 5-litre V8, is that they have this sort of two-stage exhaust valve. You get the sort of first roar where you're like, yep, here we go. And then it just opens up into this complete, this like, ah! I love it. I love it. It's so, so good. And there we go. There are some bumps. Can't help but bring a smile to your face, I was going to say, but then my brain was shook around so much I couldn't really remember where I was or what I was talking about. I'm trying to play it cool, you know, I'm trying to just be like, yeah, just, you know, here's the Project 8, here are the stats and facts. Inside, I'm dying because I think I love this car. I think it's everything I wanted it to be. I think it's everything I hoped it would be when I first caught wind that they were going to make it, because any of you that may not know the story, I very nearly bought one of these cars. In fact, I had a slot, which I basically cancelled, and boy do I regret it, because in essence, I'm a massive Jaguar fanboy. I have been ever since I owned my F-Type R, and really before that, and I've always wanted to one day end up back in one of these cars. And when I sort of caught wind of the fact that they were going to be making this sort of crazy track-focused V8 XC, I went, that's it, that's the one for me, I need it, I want it. The problem is, it's so damn expensive. And now actually driving it and realizing how special it is and how unique it is, I realize, you know, how much work must have gone into creating it, but I'm still not sure I can justify 150 grand, no matter how quick or special this thing is. Anyway, I have got another 10 days or something like with this car, so I shouldn't really be summarizing things now. I've got a lot of time to live with this car and learn what it's like, but yeah, beneath this cool and calm and collected exterior is a small boy going, this is the best car ever, I have to buy it! I just love the way it looks as well, bloody hell, and this is a nice open, smooth, sweeping road for me to really exploit the Project 8 on my way home. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you have, give it a thumbs up if you're excited for this Project 8, and make sure to subscribe for plenty more videos to come.